everybody, my name is Chip Dodd with ThisABILITY Adventures, and the following video is a course overview of the WilliamsBURR Virtual Adventure Challenge occurring in Williamsburg, Virginia. Let me do a quick screen share. Here's our slide. Basically, Williamsburg, Virginia is a beautiful colonial area. It is like a large museum where there's real people walking around in real buildings. Everybody's dressed up like the period of the like 1700s and 1800s, like Thomas Jefferson. You might see him walk by. And so this course is basically a guided tour of the Williamsburg and the William and Mary surrounding areas and trails. So it's not your typical adventure race, obviously, where you're like running and barging through crowds and things like that. We do have to be polite. But this is a way to experience Williamsburg, especially if you can do it during the holiday season. It is decorated, it's beautiful, there's lights. The weather's still pretty good. It's usually been in the 40s and 50s. Great time to get outside and have a good time. It is a 6-hour race or course. It is self-guided. Basically, when you sign up, we're going to send you a set of maps, and then you and your family are welcome to go out there and do it whenever you'd like. So before we get really into the race details, let me go ahead and navigate over to, you definitely want to start with our website, the How It Works section. So in this course overview, I'm not going to get into the actual how it works because it's all covered right here, and I might even record another video. So in this video, I'm just going to give you what's specific to this course so that when you sign up, you know what you're getting yourself into. I also suggest that you head over to the gear list, and then that way you've got the stuff that you need and you're aware of what you need to do basically any adventure race. And honestly, anytime you want to be outdoors, you should consider having a lot of this gear with you just to be safe. Okay, so let's start into that. Let's go back over to the actual maps. Williamsburg, Virginia is on the peninsula, they call it, in Hampton Roads. So it's very close to Yorktown, and it's on this peninsula right here. So that's, let me go ahead and zoom back in. Oh, let's see, how far away is it, like from Richmond? I think it's like an hour and a half. Couple hours from Fredericksburg, probably 3.5 or 4 from DC, not too far from the Raleigh-Durham area. So it's pretty centrally located, pretty easy to get to. I definitely would try to get there not during rush hour because this Interstate 64 can be a little bit bad. But either way, okay, so let's zoom in. Let's go ahead and take a look at the course, give you an idea how the flow is going to go. So this is the kind of the overview. This is the colonial area here. This whole section here is the College of William and Mary, and they own a bunch of land over here where there's a bunch of trails. So here's how this is going to work, or here's how this course is laid out. It is a perfect course for a family with people that are maybe new to adventure racing, new to navigation, not ready to mountain bike on super hard trails, but are capable of going off trail and riding, or on typical single track trails. But nothing crazy like roots and drops and steep climbs and all of that. So this is a great race for people that just really want to go outside and really have a good time and practice their AR skills. This is the visitor center of Colonial Williamsburg. This is the parking area we suggest everybody parks. This is the official start finish. It's basically overflow parking, and it's really close to the Colonial Williamsburg area. But also, since you're going to start on your bikes, you can't really bike across this thing here. So you don't want to park up here unless you just want to stop by the visitor center and check it out, get a map or whatever. But once you're ready to start the race, come over to this parking lot over here. All right, so this is basically a start finish. You are starting and finishing from your car. Here's how this course is designed. So you're going to jump on your bike, head over to the colonial area. It is free. There's no cost to the parking or entering the colonial area. And you're going to navigate through over here to, this is called Merchant Square. It's a lot of shops and restaurants. We're going to give you a couple areas where you can lock your bike up, or places on the map where it's like a transition area so you can lock your bike up. We do suggest doing the bike section first. It's going to take you the furthest away from the course or the start finish, and then you'll work your way back to the colonial area. But the other thing is the colonial area can be done after dark if you kind of ran into that problem. But the mountain biking section is mostly on the William and Mary campus, which is private property, so I would not suggest being out there after dark. So either way, highly suggested, start this course so you have plenty of time to get back to your car before dark. And then if you want to go back over to the colonial area for dinner, so be it. Okay, so back to transition. You're going to haul butt on your bike over here to the transition. Go ahead and lock your bike up. Hopefully you're comfortable with that, or don't do the race. Don't do this course. So what you're going to do is from the Colonial area, you're going to be navigating, getting checkpoints all through this William and Mary campus, which is historic, beautiful. Nobody's there because of COVID. And eventually you're going to make your way over to this section over here. This is a great groomed single track. It's private property of William and Mary, although there's no sign saying don't go on there. There's a lot of locals that also ride it. Really fun trail. So we've put a handful of checkpoints out there. And then you're going to make your way back over here, and we're going to take you down this trail along the lake. There's a few checkpoints down there, and then navigate through William and Mary and get back to the Colonial area. So that's basically the bike section. Lock your bike up. Oh, I'm sorry. Earlier I said lock your bike up and then go do the bike section. No, you blast right through here, go do the bike section, get back to Merchant Square, lock your bike up. So once your bike's locked up, then you're going to go on foot. And all of this area, like basically pretty much everything on my screen right now is the Colonial area. This is a living, breathing museum that's huge. In this section, we do have to be very polite. There are tourists there. And so if you're going to run it and try to win and go fast, just be polite, maybe run in the streets and not on the sidewalk. There's a lot of elderly folks. There's a lot of kids. There's a lot of dogs. There's other people exercising. Just be polite. Nobody in the public should know that you're racing. Okay, this is a self-guided tour. This is not a permitted event for 100 people. So they're not ready for you blasting through there. So just please be polite so that we can keep these things going without having any hassle from the authorities. All right, so basically there's a bunch of checkpoints spread all through here. There is some checkpoints on the trail down here. And so this area, I don't think you're allowed to be in there after dark. So if you're there and it's getting close to dark, go ahead and look at the map and take care of these southeast trails first and get out of that area and back over here to this Colonial area before dark. Because after, you're allowed to play in the Colonial area after dark. It's not a big deal. It's basically, again, it's just like a little city center. Just don't go on any trails and stuff. Again, be polite. So that's the basic course overview. If for advanced teams that know what they're doing and they want to go out there and go fast, they might be able to knock it out in 4.5 hours if they really don't make any errors. We left it open to 6 hours, so people that are new to adventure racing and just really want to enjoy the Colonial area and not be in a huge hurry, you could knock that out in 6 hours. Let me see. Talked about that. Course options, yes, you can, if you want to do the trek part first and then go biking, that's fine. The only thing you want to worry about is dark, but it's totally up to you. Maybe you feel more comfortable locking your bike up in the morning, and then that way you're finishing back at your at the car more towards the evening. When it comes down to gear, this course, the whole place has cell phone service, so you're not worried about needing any type of GPS type devices to communicate. Of course, there's hospitals nearby, and so you're not in any wilderness areas. Be careful being on the streets there. Depending on your course choice, there are some streets that have traffic. We highly recommend going through the William and Mary campus doesn't have a lot of traffic, but this big V here has a ton of traffic. So I'd stay off that road if you want to be safe. One area that is over here you got to be a little careful is crossing this Virginia 321. You can cross anywhere, but basically this is where most people cross and start that course. So we would ask you to cross right there because that's kind of the trailhead. This is kind of a dangerous road, so just have your head on a swivel. There's a bike path down the road, but when you cross, people are coming through that traffic light and blasting around that corner at 30 or 40 miles an hour, and they're not a lot of traffic from bikes in there. So just keep that in mind. I wouldn't do the course if it's snowing outside or anything like that, because it'll jack up the single track, but there isn't any signs saying don't go on those courses if it's wet. It is polite not to go when it's wet, but it's not forbidden. Other than that, I think it's a great course for teams or solo racers or families. I definitely recommend staying overnight and playing in the Colonial area the second day and just enjoying it. It is decorated. I'm not sure how long the decorations are going to stay up after Christmas, but it is a beautiful course. It's a lot of fun. So, all right, I think that is everything. If anybody has any questions, I'm sorry, one more thing before we leave. All the CPs are optional. You can do the CPs in any order. We did put an order on the map, which is the suggested course flow, because this is a race made for entry-level racers. You don't have to do a lot of thinking in course strategy. Just kind of go from CP to CP. You know, start with the bike and end with the trek. There isn't a paddle section because it's that lake is off limits. The Matatoka Lake is off limits to outsiders. We will probably come up with another course in the summer that has a water section, probably a 10-hour, maybe a 12. But either way, so this is a very flexible course. If you want to drag it out over 2 days, no big deal. It's a lot of fun. So, oh, and many of our races have, a lot of times we're out in the wilderness. So like if we're out here in this type of snowy environment, we're probably going to build a tree teepee, which is just a bunch of sticks near a tree, makes it look like a triangle, or a rock cairn. In this situation, we did do that on a couple things, especially like on the bike section, but a lot of our CPs are going to be park signs where you have to fill in the blank and get a word off a park sign so we know that you made it there. Because obviously this is a museum. I can't be putting flags out or anything like that. So other than that, hit us up on the email or the website or the run sign up. We respond to that. We're also on Facebook. If you have any additional questions, thanks a lot and enjoy the course.